Hi there, welcome back to Nays Knits episode 7. This is a knitting podcast. We focus mainly on knitting. I do sewing and stuff, but we're just keeping it mainly on knitting on this channel. And yeah, welcome back. New location. As predicted, hadn't got a slightest chance of doing a podcast last week. I had no time and no spoons. And yeah, so I'm glad that I've pre-warned you in the previous video that it probably wasn't going to happen. But I'm back this week, and yeah, new location. For those who didn't watch last week's podcast, I had to move locations because we've got a relative living with us now, so it was all change, lots of moving around furniture, and yeah, downstairs is pristine, but upstairs is an utter chaos until this weekend, where hopefully we can be in less chaos. But everyone's settled, everyone's happy, and everything's progressing nicely, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, what else? Yeah, so it's nice to be back. Hope the lighting's okay. It's like I literally hadn't even thought about where I was going to podcast this morning, and it was like, quick, find somewhere. So I'm by a window, but hopefully it's not too blown out. Yeah, so I've been busy knitting, even though I haven't been talking about knitting, just to give myself some mental health space and some quiet time. I haven't done anything really technical, just purely because it would turn into utter garbage if I tried to attempt it this week or last week. But I have made some progress, so yeah, let's get chatting about the progress. Yeah, so first things first, the Navelli. I am so close to finishing the Navelli, and I'm really happy with it so far. I'm procrastinating with this now because I have reached the point where I've got to a thing that I need to learn, and I'm not sure my brain's in the right space. And so instead of finishing it, I am doing this podcast. But, you know, I needed to podcast as well, so it's not really procrastinating, but, you know. Okay, so it's going to look a bit funny because I've got the back on stitch holders. The front is normal, so it's quite a long one. Sorry. Get that down, needs blocking. Okay, so here is the front. Look, I've done the top as well. I've done German short rows, and here is the back. So what I need to do next is I need to join the back and the front with a 3-needle. I just read this and I've forgotten immediately. 3-needle picker, bind off, something like that, to make the shoulders, and then I've got to cast off on the neck, so that's something I need to learn. And then I need to pick up stitches on the sides and make the little sleeves. So I'm quite chuffed with this. Now the yarn I have been using is the Camels Yarn, the Camels Yarn, and it was one of their monthly clubs. So this is the Merry Maidens Sock set. Okay, it's in, I just got it in sock weight, and I'm really happy with the colour. I'm not sure you're going to get it because I've got, this is actually some of the colour that's in the yarn. It's just, yeah, there. It doesn't come out well on the camera. I will take some photos of it once it's done and put them on Instagram. Just find me on Instagram as Nays Knits, and hopefully we'll get a better colour on there. But I'm really loving the colour. It reminds me of spring with the hedgerows and blue skies. You know, it's just a stunning yarn. Also starting to remind me of spearmint. I don't know if it's just because I've had a lot of spearmint chewing gum in my life, but it's given me a spearmint vibe as well. But it's just screaming out spring and summer. I'm really loving this. So I want to get this finished before the weather goes cold. But or the weather gets really hot and I can't wear it at all. But yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. Hopefully next week I should have that finished, but you know, depends what life chucks at me. So I'm really happy with that. The cream yarn at the bottom here is Adventures in Yarncraft Undyed. It's their Luxe Sock. So look at this colour work. Oh yes, really happy with how my colour work's come out. This is the first time I've done colour work, so really happy with that. I feel like I'm rushing. I need to slow down a bit. Yeah, so the first time I've done colour work, so I'm really impressed with what I did with that. Bear in mind, it took 3 tries. Let's not forget the past Navellis. And if you wonder what I'm going on about, you need to watch podcast number 6. I'll not go through all that again. Yep, so really happy with that. And then I went down a needle size. These are 2.75s, I think. What are you? What are you? Where is your details? They're likey needles, I know that. Is it likey? Leaky? I have no idea. It's not on here. That's useful. I think these are definitely 275s. I believe the main colour work was 3 or 3.25, something like that. I did what she suggested. And then when I got to here, it was a bit loose, so I went down a bit. So, yeah, so I think that's going to look quite nice. Hopefully, next podcast, I'll be wearing it for you. Oh, shock. Finished something and not frogged it. Oh, I know. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really happy with the progress of that. It's not using that much yarn, to be honest. I think I'll probably go into my second skein. So last time I was talking about how it's quite good for yarn. It doesn't take much yarn. And I was wondering if I was going to be able to use one sock set or if I'd slip into the second one. I think I may slip into the second one. I'll weigh it afterwards and see how much yarn I've used. But yeah, possibly, we'll see. It's used, so this is the main colourway yarn. Oh, it really does not, like, these are zingy greens and blues. It's like, it's stunning, but it just doesn't come out on the camera. I may have to upgrade my phone. Yeah, so that's the main colourway of the Merry Maidens sock set, and then it comes with a mini skein. So I did my colour work with just one mini skein. So skein. Why am I saying skein? What mini skein? So, you know, that little bit, and then I barely used, probably used half a skein of the undyed, and then the main colour work. I don't know. It might. I'll weigh it, but out of 2 skeins, I've still got like 3 left. So that's probably 1 skein, but I've only got this much left. So I'm probably going to dip into the second skein, which is unfortunate. But you know, I can always make something else out of these. Which brings me to my next pattern, because didn't even talk about the pattern. So if you're new here, the pattern is Navelli by Caitlin Hunter. Oh, I'm all up backwards and forwards today. Yeah, so it's Navelli Caitlin Hunter. I'm knitting the size 2. Yeah, so yarn quantities pretty good. I would say size 1 you'd probably get away with 1 skein of main colour, but yeah, anything above that you're probably looking at 2 skeins, maybe 3. But you know, it's a good top for the yarn, I think. You know, it's interesting to knit. I've enjoyed knitting it. The only differences I've done is that Caitlin recommends doing 10 centimeters of 10 minutes of stock. 10 minutes. 10 centimeters of stockinette from here to here. I've done 15 just because I'm a bit more long bodied and I don't really like anything cropped. So there we go. Once again, Caitlin Hunter Navelli. Okay, right, let's slow down. Let's slow down. Because oh my goodness, podcast is going to be 10 minutes long if I carry on the speed I'm going. So, oh, sorry, liquid sustenance. I think I'm nervous, but I shouldn't be nervous because I've done like a few of these now, but I'm doing something later to do with the podcast, which is making me a little nervous, but I don't know why. Probably because I can't edit myself, but you know, I'm going to be doing a live stitch and bitch hopefully this evening. Fingers crossed everything goes well. Yeah, so a stitch and bitch is basically, in the UK, they're normally done at pubs where you take your knitting, you take your sewing, you take crochet, go and have a drink, go and have a natter, and it's a nice social event. You can talk about knitting, you can talk about Lord of the Rings, you can talk about makeup, you can talk about plants, you can talk about books, you can talk about anything you want. It's just a social event. So similar to when you go to yarn shows and things like that and everyone's sitting at the tables, nattering and stuff. I want it to be like that. Hopefully it'll be a nice, kind, inclusive place, but you know what the internet can be like. I will have a mediator who will keep a looking out in the comments while we're chatting away, but I'll basically chat to you like I chat now, and then you can chat along in the comments, you can bring things up, we can talk about it, I can talk about it live, and we can have a good convo and discuss stuff. Try and keep it not political, but you know, current events at the moment are a little bit so yeah, but you know, that's what makes life fun, isn't it? So yes, enjoying doing that, looking forward to doing that, excited. I want to do a face-to-face one as well, but because I have such a fluctuating disability, I can't guarantee that I'll be well enough to do it that day. So I think trying it out now, more people can be involved from different countries, it won't be just my local area. I think this is a nicer way of doing it for now, so let's see how it goes. Yeah. Second thing, I've got a new thing. I've cast on a new whip. I'm really happy with this pattern, to be honest. Yes, so I had this on my queue for a while on Ravelry, and it looked, you know, it was a nice vest top, a bit nondescript, you know. I was like, meh, okay, yeah. And then I took it off and thought, meh, no, I won't bother. And then I saw Nitty Natty Love and Stitches make hers, and I had to make one immediately. And the yarn that I showed you last week, which was for socks, and I started knitting a sock. I actually started knitting a sock. I got quite far, and then I realised I didn't do the increases where I needed to, and I had to frog it. And instead of it turning into another sock, it's turned into a ripple camisole. Yeah, it's by Jessie Made Designs. She's got quite a few different options, very size inclusive. And also, if you just want something you can knit without thinking, this is your fella, I tell you. So the wool yarn in question is Gloam by Nervus Fibres. Absolutely stunning taupe colour. As we know, it's the same colour as Poppet, my cat. By accident, but you know, I'm happy about it. It's 70% alpaca. I'm going to look at my notes. 70% alpaca. Well done, Sam. 20% cashmere and 10% silk. 40 meters per 100 grams. Soft as anything. And yeah, I was like, this would make a nice camisole vest type thing. And I quite like the idea of making these because I think they'd be very good basic to have in my wardrobe. So because I don't move around very much, if you didn't know, I use a wheelchair when I'm not in the house, and it can get pretty chilly because you're not moving around as much as you would be walking, and you need your layers. Also, it'd be nice to wear on a warm day but not too hot day, just by itself, but it would be a good layering piece. I will insert a picture here. And yeah, so stop chatting, Sam, and show the thing already. So here we go. Now, disclaimer, when you have brain fog and you're doing brain fog. Rib. Maybe leave it till when you have less brain fog, because you can't count for shit. I know I can't. It's a 3x3 rib, but I think 1 or 2 of my ribs are a little bit more than they should be. I think I've got a 5x3 rib somewhere. But because it's made to stretch out, I don't think it would be humongously noticeable when it's actually on me. And you know what? I've got to that point in my life and a point in my disability where it's like, I don't care if it's not perfect. If it's not perfect, I was having a bad day when I started it, and I still managed to do something, and I achieved something. So in fact, I use it, it's kind of like a badge of honour. There it is. There's the fiver. Oh, look at that beauty. Nice and thick. But, you know, I don't care. Yeah, so it's a pretty simple design. Check it out. Lots of different sizes as well. So you can make a full camisole, you can make a bralette, you can make a crop. There's lots of different ones. Needle size is size 3. It's not as stated. They recommend using a 3.5. I just didn't like the gauge, so I went down a little bit. But I did size up a little bit. I've gone for a medium, so I think that will work its way out. Hopefully the cuppage and the won't be so bad, but you know, I will jangle it as much as I can. Not the boobs, the knitting. Gosh. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is a really economical knit. If you are like the medium, I'm still gonna only use one skein. One skein. You can get yourself some delicious fancy yarn and have a really nice vest with one skein. I'm gonna knit a few of these little buggers. I really am. If it goes well at the top. It's going well at the moment because I'm not having to concentrate, but we'll see. Yeah, so really happy with that. I'm using finger and weight yarn, and yes, they recommend if you want to make it longer, you need 22 meters per extra inch. So, you know, I'll see how much yarn I've got and I'll work it out. But to be honest, I normally get 3 good balls out of a skein. I've still got these 2 and this. And I'm like nearly halfway. So that's good yarn and economics, that is. I like that. I like that a lot. And then I'll start knitting jumpers in the winter and there'll be like £100 worth of yarn. And I'll be like, no, I don't want to. I want to go back to my £20 vest, please. Yeah, so I'm going to knit quite a few. I just think they're going to be really good in the winter as well. They're so soft. There's no itch to it at all. It's just bliss. It feels cool as well because of the silk. It's going to be nice. Yeah, so I might make some linen ones as well, and so I've got something slightly more summer friendly. But I like the idea of having a couple of these alpaca cashmere-y type ones, because yeah, these are precious. It's very pretty. I'm loving this colour. I really am. Like, it's my birthday coming up in a couple of months, and I've asked for yarn, and I've got to decide what kind of yarn. And I'm finding it very hard not to say I want more Gloam, because I'd love a jumper out of this. It would be beautiful, you know. But yeah, more Gloam, please. I need more Gloam. Yeah. Okay. Can't tell I'm tired and brain foggy today because I'm talking utter bullshit, but I apologise. But it's one of those days, and I've got to get my brain going as well before tonight, otherwise I'm just going to be going blah blah blah. At least I don't have to lead the talking as much. You can help me with that in the comments, so thank you, friends. Yeah, other whip I have is the gold, which I did show you last week. I did make a boo-boo, I believe. I haven't rewatched it, but I'm certain that Nicole is not wrong. I forgot to mention that I was holding it double, I believe. So yeah, so I haven't done any more just purely because of my brain fog, and I want to do this properly. And yeah, if I'm having problems with 3x3 ribbing, I really don't want to be tackling a cable right now. So but I'm still loving it. I can't wait to carry it on. I'm using woolly knit in Inca Gold. It's the Merino comb. It is not the fluffiest, softest merino in the world. It is beautiful, but I'm not sure I'm going to want it near my skin. So a shawl is perfect. And this is my winter protection shawl and my negative wheelchair comment shawl. And I'm really happy about this. Yeah, so have a look on Nicole's Ravelry and have a look, check out the pattern. I will put a picture here. The picture here. I'm determined to do this picture here. Yes, I'm really pleased with how far I've got with that, but like I said, I have not touched it because life has been way too complicated recently, and I want a quiet moment where I haven't got anyone talking to me, and I've got a nice drink and some nibbles, something good on the TV, and I can concentrate on my cables. That is, I'm trying to I don't manifest, but I'm manifesting this. Some quiet time. I miss the quiet time. Yes, so, oh. Right, okay. Yeah, so that is the knitting I have done this week. And a little bit last week. So I'm quite happy with the I've made progress. I'm happy that I've made progress because I didn't think I was going to be able to touch the needles at all. So I am happy. I have made some purchases. So I feel officially like a proper knitter now. You know how I know I'm a proper knitter? I broke a needle. I am a proper knitter now. I am. I know I am. In my heart, I feel like I have achieved a milestone. It's not colour work. No, it's me breaking a bamboo needle. To be honest, I was getting really peed off with these needles. I had some basic Knit Pro in 3, which were bamboo, and they just kept catching at the, you know, the join. Like, just kept catching my Gloam, and I put my Gloam away, and I need to show you the needles. Yeah, so I'd already luckily ordered the needles before I sat on them, and I wasn't even working on it. I think it just fallen out my bag and I sat on it, as you do. So I invested in some chalgoos, and I'm very happy. I actually invested in another pair of chalgoos for this yarn, but I'll show you those in a moment. So yeah, and I went for a fixed one instead. I'm really happy with these. They don't twist, and the join is completely seamless. They're really light. I get it now. I get it. But I shouldn't have spoilt myself and bought these, because now I see the difference. So I've been knitting with Knit Pros since I started knitting. That's what I started with, and I was happy with them. And you know, the world was my oyster. I've got all my needles, you know, but the cables can get a bit twisty. They can get undone, which infuriates me. And it sometimes, I've had a couple of needles where they haven't threaded correctly, so there's a little gap, so it makes them useless. So I'm like not slightly, I've started looking at better ones. So I've got the Likes for the 2.75s, really liking these as well. I think once I started using the ones that weren't interchangeable, I realised how much easier it was to knit. I wasn't constantly fiddling with this junction here. So I've been enjoying that. So I may from now on start getting the circular needles instead of the interchangeables for some things. If I know that I'm going to love a pattern and it's a common one that I'm going to be using. Ooh. Sorry, sneeze break. Oh, yeah. So if I feel like it's going to be a needle size that I'm going to use a lot, then I'll invest in some better needles for it. I also, they are the tiniest needles in the world. Where have I put them? I've also invested, hence me saying about the yarn, in a little tiny Jalgoo sock needle. Now, I found these really quite comfortable to use, which I'm very happy about. For those that haven't watched previous podcasts, I have struggled with magic loop in my hands. I get joint issues, mobility issues with my hands and other places, but like I can't pull the yarn, get the tension right for magic loop. I just end up with a ladder. I've tried all the hints and tips. I've given up with it. So I've got this dude and I'm really happy with it. So I'm just gonna keep going with these, I think. I was really happy with my sock. I should have taken a picture so I could insert it. But like I said, I forgot to increase, and now I've got a ripple camisole, so you know, it's not all bad. So I'm really happy with this. I think I've got this from Tribe Yarns, so I'll put a link down below. So very, very happy with both of my new needle acquisitions. Yeah, so I feel like that is the way forward with needles, to be honest. If you have any other needle suggestions, let me know. But I'm really liking the Chalgoos, and I'm liking the Likes as well. So the Likes are a little bit cheaper than Chalgoos, but you know, this is the other one of the bamboo knit pros that I broke, and it just kept getting stuck here. It was just annoying, but it was a basic bitch, so you know. The symphonies I don't have that issue with, so we'll see. Right, yarn acquisitions. I only have one this week. I've been good. It's actually one that I ordered last month. Now, I was a bit silly. Very sorry to the Camels Yarn, because I went to start winding it up and my husband was like, no, you got to wait for the podcast. So I was like, oh, dang it. I got very excited about this colourway. So if you do get the Camels Yarn monthly club and you don't want to spoil it, I would skip ahead a minute or two. But this is this month's colourway, which is June's colourway, and it is the most delightful marshmallowy pastel beauty, and I've got it in an alpaca mix. What did I get it in? I've got it, sorry, that was horrendous, I apologise. I got this in comfort fingering, so it's Camels Yarn, comfort fingering, 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere. Yeah. That's why I was so desperate to wind it out. It's so soft, honestly. Packaging as always is really beautiful with the Camels Yarn, and they've given a card to explain what the yarn is about. So this is a yarn club that is very Cornwall based, like myths and mythologies and things like that, and local events. It's very local focused, but they're the most beautiful colourways. Like this is one of her yarns as well, so I'm becoming a big fan. But they've always also given us a little description of what it is, so if you're not local then you learn about a little bit about Cornwall. So this is called the Flora Day, or Howl on Toe. Yeah, so the name of the yarn is Howl on Toe, or Flora Day is the name of the event. So the Flora Day is a highly anticipated event in Cornwall, held annually in the town of Helston. This ancient festival, celebrated in May, welcomes the arrival of spring. Streets come alive with vibrant floral displays, turning the cobblestone paths into a breathtaking mosaic of colours. This is my teaching, reading story voice. Settle down, children. The festival features the Hal on Tow, a lively street play recounting local legends and folklore. The day is also filled with enchanting dances where the couples elegantly stroll through the town adorned with lily of the valley, which is a type of flower. While its origins remain a subject of debate, local folklore suggests Flora Day to have originated in the defeat of a dragon, adding a touch of myth and magic to the festivities, which is so lovely. So, yeah, this is a picture of Lily Valley, and you can see the colours of the Lily of the Valley on here. So you've got the green, a little bit of green, a little bit of blue, some pink. Oh, it reminds me of a big tube of refresher sweets, which now I instantly want to pack off. It's a good beard colour as well. I could rock a beard like this. Yeah, so I'm deciding what to knit with this. I'm trying not to knit another ripple camisole out of this one. I can't promise though. I really like that vest top that I saw in the Lane magazine as well. Hang on one moment, I will go and get it. Yeah, so I think it was the seashell. Is it seashell? I'm not sure if I've got the right yarn for it though. I haven't even looked. I'm just like, oh, make the seashell. As you do. Don't know if I've got enough yarn. Don't know if it's the right gauge. Don't know. Yeah, so this is Seashells by Marie Regina. So you see how it's scalloped? So it's similar to the ripple, but it's got that scallopy detail. What's it made out of? What's it made? What's the bet in its DK? This is fingering weight. So, yeah, it's DK. Yeah, it's not going to work for seashell. I need another one of these if I'm going to do seashell. Yeah, if you want to do seashell yourself, you're looking at approximately 450 meters of DK yarn to 1450 meters of DK yarn. So, oh, but I do have some linen somewhere, some linen drops. So I could make it out of linen drops. I've got a nice navy linen drops, maybe, possible. But it comes in lots of sizes. It comes in 13 sizes, so that's good. Bust circumference 32 centimeters to 169 centimeters, so it's a good size. So maybe I'll make it out of drops. So maybe this will end up being a low ripple. Maybe. But I'm really looking forward to swatching this and seeing all the colours. Look at that buttery yellow. Yeah, every time I look at it is an oh. Would you make another ripple out of this? It's going to be a lovely summery ripple, isn't it? I'll swatch it. See what it looks like. Yeah, so if you wanted the seashell pattern, it is in the Summer 2023 Lane magazine, which is very good. I got mine from Modern Yarn and came like next day almost. It was, whoa. Didn't even have time to prepare my husband for that parcel. Whoops. But yeah, so it's a really, there's some beautiful patterns. Look at that one. Oh, some beautiful patterns in here. I need to have a proper look through. It's Dressed to Impress by Julia DeCini. It's a stunner. And they have the cutest ice cream socks, which once I get back on the sock wagon, may have to be. What's that one? Oh, that's pretty. Utopia. Very nice. By Eleanor Solino Johnson. See, I'm just reading it again. I need to actually look at it properly. Yeah. Put it down, Sam. Put it down. Okay. Right. So next. Yeah, I didn't buy much yarn. I mainly brought reading materials and not actually had time to look at them. my next purchase was a magazine, another magazine, which I haven't got before, but I actually quite enjoyed this. Not so keen on the patterns, they're not my thing, but it's more the information. I find it hard, unless you know of things, you don't get the information. Whereas this magazine is a little bit more UK focused. It tells you about different yarn events. So gives you all the yarn news. I feel like its identity is struggling a little bit. I can see that they've got modern knitters on the books, because in the news and stuff like that, there's very modern kind of focus. But then when it comes to the patterns, they seem a little bit dated. So it's just like they're trying to push for a younger audience. Like they've got younger people on the team, but then they're focusing on, you know. But I found the information really interesting. So they have what's on. So you've got all your dates for festivals and things. So I didn't know that they had a festival in Ampthill in Bedfordshire. So I'll probably be going to that. So if you're going to that, I'll come see you. It's called the Summer Wool Festival. And there's actually loads of people. I think Crafty Birds again. I know there's a few yarn dyers that I really like that are going to be there. So I'm very impressed with that. And also... What else did I see? Oh, they had a lovely article about the lady that knitted the... Well, they've got a lovely article of D. Hardwick and their book that's coming out, Lane Publishing, The Knitted Fabric. So that was nice. Love the studio. Look at this studio. See, if I had that, the moths would be like I would have so many moths. I wouldn't have any yarn left. But, you know, I'm living vicariously through this picture right now. I totally, yeah, dream. Also, was it knits and pearls? Knitted pearls. What's their name? Anyway, they've got a yarn cupboard. And I need a yarn cupboard now. That's my next obsession, is a yarn cupboard. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So the Irish knitter that did all the jumpers for Banshees of Inisherin. There's a lovely article about that lady, and if you've seen that film, yeah, I'm still scarred. It's a beautiful, gorgeous film, and I love the knitwear, but. Ooh, yeah, it's not your casual Sunday viewing, you know. It's a bit gory, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting a nice, you know, but I don't know why I was thinking that, because isn't it by the same person that did the In Bruges, and that had gory bits, so I don't know why I was so surprised. Anyway, yeah, so this is a really nice magazine, really good articles. Just a bit, you know, like I love the colour and everything, but they're just not screaming to me, knit me, you know what I mean? No shade to the knitwear designers, you know, it's just not my style. So it just seems a little bit competing styles of writing, you know what I mean, patterns. I did see they had a really cool cable cushion, which I may have to make. And a really nice jumper, but that's a drops pattern. So, you know, there's some kiddie ones as well. Like, if you want to dress up your kid as a fox, there you go. Coolio. Yeah, so I will get this again, just because I'm loving the info in it. There's so much detail and stuff. Just, you know, patterns could do with a little bit of, you know. Like, look at that advert on there. I need to Google that. Nice picture. Some good marketing there. Emily Foons. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all I've got knitting wise. Yeah, so I'm going to do a stitch and bitch tonight. Hopefully it'll go all right. If it does, then I'll probably do one every other week maybe. See how it goes. If anyone turns up, it could be just me on my lonesome chatting to the internet like I do all the time and nobody talking back. Not at all nervous at all. No. Anyway, yeah. If you're wondering where the cat is, he is sitting opposite me, snoring his little heart out. He looks very cute right now. Yeah. What else? Yeah, so I wanted to just say at the end of the podcast that I'm a little bit concerned about what's going on in the world, and I watched the Grocery Girls yesterday and they put it so beautifully, and I want to say the same thing. As you know, that this podcast, if you've been watching from the beginning and throughout, I am aiming to have this as inclusive and as diverse as possible, this podcast. I am disabled myself, and I have lots of friends and family that are gay or trans, and it's breaking my heart what's happening over in America and also in the disabled community in the UK. Yeah, so I want, without bringing the mood down, I just want to say that this is a safe space. If we do have live chats, there will be mediation. Also, I keep a very close eye on the comments as well, so if I see anyone's being unkind, then they'll just be removed. Yeah, but I just want to say also that, so I just want to say, if you are part of the queer community, if you're trans, if you're, anything you want to be, you are loved here as well. If you are struggling, please drop me a message on Nays Knits. I will listen, yeah, America's rough at the moment, and it must be tough to hear half the shit that's coming through. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not hearing half of it because I'm in the UK, but yeah, not cool. Drag queens are awesome, trans people are awesome, they just want to be happy and want to be who they want to be. And who am I to say you can't be who you feel you want to be inside? Nobody can tell you who to be. So yeah, if you need help, just drop me a message. And same with the disabled community as well at the moment. Also, Pride, make sure your events are disabled inclusive, please, because there's a lot of disabled influencers out there who are gay, who cannot access Pride. Queer people are disabled too. Include them, please. Yeah, that's my teacher moment. Yeah, but also for the disabled community as well. It's looking a little bit weird in this country with the Tory Graph publishing that wonderful article about benefits. Thank you so much, you gits. Well done. Really looking forward to going around in my wheelchair this weekend. Yep, especially as I live in Brexit land. That's going to be really enjoyable. I'm really looking forward to being shouted at and being watched, because I may be on benefits and I may be, living a life of luxury on my benefits. Load of bollocks. Nobody can live a life of luxury on benefits, you dicks. I'm not on benefits myself, but that's purely because I'm married and I don't fall in I fall out of the cutoff. So, just because I'm married, I'm not entitled to benefits because I'm married. Oh, aren't I lucky? Bastards. So I rely on podcasts and my wonderful husband, because we live in the 1950s in the UK if we're disabled. And if we're disabled, we are not entitled to get married. You know, there's a lot of disabled people out there who cannot get married or live with their partner because they can't afford to, because they'll lose benefits. How ridiculous is that in this day and age? Yes, so yeah, I'm really not happy with right-wing politics at the moment. They're just wanting to make everyone's life just that little bit more difficult, aren't they? And just that little bit more horrible. If we hadn't got enough going on with the price increases, the fuel, Russia being dicks, Ukraine in the down, what the bloody hell? It's just like the world's gone crazy. The world has lost the responsibility of community, and it's the right-wing media are really latching into that. Everyone's become so isolated from COVID. I feel like community is just disintegrated and everyone's just out for their own thing. Anyway, that's my tuppence worth. And yeah, again, if you're struggling, you are loved, please message me. Instagram, Nays Knits, find me. Yeah, so I think I'll leave it there and see what, hopefully I'll get the Navelli finished for next week and I'll be wearing it. Ooh. I'll give it a little model, you know, Vogue. And yeah, I'm not sure about it. Might even get this finished as well. Never know. Stranger things have happened. Probably won't, but, and I may get cabling. If I get a quiet moment, I'll get cabling. Yes. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you tonight. If not, I'll see you next week. And I will save the live chat if anyone turns up. If not, I'll delete it because I'll be embarrassed. But if anyone turns up, I'll save the live chat and I will, just so you can join in. You know, you can comment afterwards. You can watch it and knit along and, you know, maybe you can get an idea of what Stitching Bitch is like and then join in next time, you know? So, okay. Coolios. So, have a lovely week. Enjoy the sunshine if you have sunshine. And, yeah, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.